and natural heritage. The first meeting of the working group was organized in the western parts and remnants of early human civilization. The Run of Kutch provided a remarkable experience to our delegates. The second tourism working group meeting was organized in the eastern part of India in Siliguri and Darjeeling, located in the state of West Bengal. The region, with its breathtaking views of lush green hills, scenic mountain vistas, tea estates, and cultural diversity, offered a truly enchanting experience to all the delegates. And now for the third meeting, we have gathered in the northern part of India, in this beautiful union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. This picturesque destination, set amidst the majestic Himalayas, boasts of captivating lakes, serene valleys, and a vibrant local culture. The objective remains steadfast: to foster an atmosphere of ambition, inclusivity, and decisive action in pursuit of our common goals. It is through our collective efforts and collaboration that we can achieve concrete outcomes that will benefit our nations and the global tourism community. Yesterday, we had a side event on film tourism for economic growth and cultural preservation, followed by a spectacular experience of shikara rides in the Dal Lake. The evening that followed took us through a host of beautiful local performing arts in the form of music and dance. The artfully curated local cuisine added flavor to the experience. And as we progress through our agenda, we have designed a host of similar immersive experiences for you to enjoy. I extend my warmest wishes for a comfortable and memorable stay in Srinagar, the enchanting setting for our meeting. Colleagues, let us seize this opportunity to engage in meaningful discussions, exchange insights, and forge partnerships that will shape the future of tourism. Together, we can create a transformative impact and shape the tourism sector in our countries and globally to contribute to the sustainable development goal of our nations and create opportunities and for growth and development of our people. May I now request the Chief Coordinator, G20 Secretariat, Shri Harshvardhan Shingla, to deliver his address.
Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Northeastern Region, Shri G. Krishan Reddy ji, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Honorable Minister of State for Tourism, Shri Ajay Bhatt ji, Honorable Lieutenant Governor of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Shri Manoj Sinha ji, Honorable G20 Sherpa Amitabh Khan ji, Secretary Tourism, Shri Arvind Singh ji, OSD for the Ministry of Tourism, Srimati Vidyavati, distinguished ambassadors and high commissioners and G20 delegates, friends, Namaskar and good morning. Let me begin by joining Secretary Tourism in extending a very warm welcome to Srinagar, to all of our G20 delegates for the working group on tourism this morning. I want to confine my remarks to a few points. First and foremost, our thanks and appreciation to the government of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for the excellent arrangements made. We have had the opportunity to begin preparations some time back, and we have seen remarkable transformations in the urban environment and in terms of many of the arrangements that have been made, especially for this G20 meeting. I hope our delegates will have the opportunity to visit this newly renovated smart city of Srinagar, its iconic and historic sites that are here, the markets that are. Second, as you're aware, we are midway through India's G20 presidency with having hosted 118 meetings in 46 different cities of our country so far. Third, of course, as Secretary Tourism has said, this is the third meeting of the Working Group on Tourism. The first meeting was in the Run of Kutch in the western part of India, the second in Darjeeling in the eastern part, and the third, of course, in Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir in the northern part of our country. Of course, as I mentioned, Srinagar is perhaps one of our most iconic tourism locations, and I think we are very privileged to be here. I think the historic couplet that you will see in the Shalimar Bagh when you visit it, that if there is a paradise on earth, it is this, it is this, it is this, I think is not overstated. It is also not surprising that over 18 million tourists visited Jammu and Kashmir last year, and we expect the figures to be even higher this year. The G20 meeting on tourism will undoubtedly spur a greater number of tourists to visit this very important tourist locations, including tourists from all of your countries. This, we have no doubt, will bring much needed cheer to the local traders and craftsmen who depend on tourism. Fourth and lastly, I want to felicitate the chair of your meeting, Mr. Arvind Singh, who as Secretary Tourism in the Government of India has been the driving force behind the success of 3 working group meetings held under our presidency. We have been fortunate to have him at the helm of this process and as the motivating force behind its success with the encouragement of the Honorable Minister of Tourism. Arvind Singh has led an outstanding team of officers, and I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate him and his entire team for their stellar contribution.
Amitav Kant to address today's gathering and offer his remarks.
Honorable Ministers, distinguished Lieutenant Governor, my distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all the distinguished delegates who've come from different parts of the world, I take this opportunity of welcoming a very, very important working group. What you recommend here would find a very major place in the final leaders communique which will be issued after the meeting of the leaders on September 9th and 10th. It is important because tourism is a very major driver of growth. It is a very major driver of job creation. The group has identified 5 priority areas: green tourism, digitalization, skill development, tourism, MSMEs and destination management. And let me say that commendable progress has been made on these in the previous meetings. I would like to congratulate all the tourism delegates on their very successful deliberations and on the agenda for sustainable development, which would leverage tourism development for achieving sustainable development goals. Under the broad theme of travel for life, the G20 tourism track is also working to further the achievement of green, inclusive and resilient tourism development. As the voice of the global south and an emerging economy, India's presidency's focus on tourism has been guided by efforts to build back the tourism sector better following the COVID-19 pandemic globally. Ladies and gentlemen, the tourism sector has very critical role to play in skilling, reskilling and upskilling for the tourism sector, and all of us have to ensure the way for traditional and new sectors and areas of work in tourism which will be dominated by MSMEs and startups in the coming year. The inclusion of Srinagar as an export-based sectors while focusing on sustainable tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 2 days you will truly experience why this part of the world is called heaven on earth. As our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi emphasizes, tourism is the jewel in India's crown, and tourism is a natural magnet for tourism with its alpine forest, high mountains, lakes, ski slopes and verdant valleys. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have always complimented the natural beauty and bounty of this place with a tradition of warmth and hospitality. This is the bedrock for creating a successful tourism experience. Last year, we had record number of tourists in this Jammu and Kashmir, which is the highest in 75 years of India's independence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely grateful to all of you for joining us in this beautiful city of Kashmir, in Srinagar. This is a record number of delegates that we have received amongst all the working groups. And this is the highest number of delegates that we have received, and we are very thankful to all of you who have come from different parts of India. I would like to particularly thank the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Manoj Sinha, and his full team, and I would also like to thank the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Mr. Kishan Reddy, and the Secretary, Mr. Arvind Singh, for the extremely constructive ideas, inputs for the substantial, not merely the substantial part of the discussions which will follow you after this inaugural session, but for the very constructive and very fine arrangements that they have done here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. It is now my honor to invite respected Lieutenant Governor of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Shri Manoj Sinha, to share his thoughts with us.
Honorable Union Minister of Tourism and Culture, Shri G. Kishan Reddy ji, invitees from the observer countries, delegates of G20 nations, friends from tourism sector and media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for the third Tourism Working Group meeting under the Presidency of India. I hope you are enjoying the warm hospitality and pristine beauty of Srinagar. Dear friends, since eternity, Jammu Kashmir is known as crown jewel of India, and today I would like to say that it is a matter of great pride for 13 million citizens of this Union Territory to host this G20 meeting of Tourism Working Group that is deliberating on global architecture for sustainable tourism. Friends, Jammu Kashmir have always been a center of wisdom, knowledge, inclusive culture, and breathtaking landscape that is divine to travelers. Famous poet Amir Khusro, while describing the natural beauty of Jammu and Kashmir in 13th century, had said, and I quote, "Gar Firdaus